best pilots. Someone's dying in the
Hello, my name is Owen McEwen, and I'm an 8th grader from Summit House. Would you please stand and join me in the pledge of I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
rise for the Star Spangled Banner.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Marino. I'm the lead principal of Williston Schools, and it is my honor and privilege to join Williston Central Schools Principal Jackie Parks in welcoming all of you here this evening on this very special occasion of our 8th grade graduation. So parents, caregivers, family members, WCS faculty and staff, and of course our graduates, welcome. Before passing the microphone to Ms. Parks, I wanted to share just a short reflection with our graduates. As I was thinking about the class and their journey over the last 8-9 years, and puzzling a little over the appropriate words, I came to what I think is a very suitable metaphor for the occasion. About 7 years ago, when these students were first graders, those who attended Allenbrook School at that time gathered on a sunny, grassy slope overlooking the playground for a simple tree planting ceremony in honor of Arbor Day. There you were, as enthusiastic 6- and 7-year-olds, helping to plant a young autumn blaze maple tree. On that day, you learned a little about what kind of care it would take to help that tree grow. The tree is easy to pick out today. It's the tallest of the trees planted on that slope above the playground. As we hoped, and with our care and encouragement, that tree has grown bigger, taller, stronger, more resilient with each passing year. Sure, there were times of stress, times of drought, winds, nor'easters, frigid Vermont temperatures, maybe even some Allenbrook kids hanging on its branches. Just the same, it stands straight and tall among the slightly shorter trees on that slope, almost as an example to its brothers and sisters nearby. Maybe you can pay it a visit this summer. Graduates, I encourage you to think about your own journey. Acknowledge the times of stress, even knowing there will be more ahead. Celebrate the bigger, taller, stronger, more resilient human being you are today, despite all those challenges. Acknowledge the fact that your incredible growth has happened within a community of care that is represented in this room today. Internalize the belief that you are strong and resilient, like that tree, and that you are not standing alone in your journey, but instead held up by that community of care, especially one another. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce WCS Principal Jackie Parks to share her welcoming remarks. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Williston Central School for our 8th grade graduation. My name is Jackie Parks, and I'm the WCS principal. It has been such a pleasure to watch this group of individuals over the years. In spite of the restraints of COVID, they've grown, matured, connected to each other, both virtually and in person. They've developed interests, they've developed passions, gained knowledge and skills, and now they're ready to take that next step into high school, one step closer to becoming an adult. I am very proud of each and every one of them, as I know you are. We've had a lot of fun with this group over the past month. There's been a lot of special events, there's been trips, there's been laughs, and it really has been probably the most joyful part of my year, the last few weeks with them. So WCS has a lot of positive attributes, but one thing I love the most is our permeating belief that we're really responsible, along with parents and guardians, for supporting and guiding the development of the whole person. Of course, mastery of reading, writing, mathematics, science, and social studies are critical, but so is being a responsible citizen, holding space for all types of people, honoring diversity, showing initiative, setting goals, being flexible and creative, and communicating effectively. I am very proud that all of the faculty and staff of the Williston schools strive to support these traits in all our students. So since COVID in the middle school, we've seen a big rise of the desire for students to elevate their voices within our school system to create positive change. This year, more than ever, we've offered clubs, leadership groups that are very unique and diverse and available for students to access during the school day. This has really allowed so many more students to find their niche, to lend their voice to causes they believe in. And I think you'll hear this reflected in both of the speeches that you'll hear this evening. You may have noticed that our graduation theme that the parents selected at our first meeting focuses on you, be you. And I think as we really think about this group of students and the world that we live in today, this message is more essential than ever. You are each bringing something unique and special to this world. Never forget that, especially during adolescence, when you're pulled to fit in and be one of the crowd. Graduates, I believe if you talk to any of the adults in your life about this, you would hear that ultimately, to find your happiness in your life, you need to follow the path of your interests and passions. And your interests and passions are unique to you, not dependent on what's popular at the moment. So before I conclude, I'd like to share a couple of quotes relevant to being yourself. First, by Lady Gaga. Don't ever let a soul in the world tell you that you can't be exactly who you are. And finally, Roy Bennett, you are unique. You have different talents and abilities. You don't have to always follow in the footsteps of others. And most importantly, you should always remind yourself that you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You have a responsibility to develop your talents you've been given. I wish each and every one of our graduates this evening a wonderful summer, a smooth transition into high school, and a wonderful 4 years at CBU, Essex, Bryce, whatever high school you're attending. Thank you.
Hello, Williston Central School staff, students, caregivers, and of course, fellow graduates. My name is Olivia Siri. Similar to many people in this room, when I walked into the Williston Central School doors on the first day of 8th grade, I just wanted the year to be over and to move on to high school. I was so ready to move away from the school I have been in for so many years. I still am, if I'm being completely honest. I am ready to see the person my peers and I will become in the next couple of years. Apart from that, on my last day as a middle schooler, I am also far more grateful for the things I have learned than I thought I would be. This past school year has been so influential to the way I present myself and who I associate myself with. As a part of the Williston Central School community, I would like to say that looking back on all the good and bad days we've had at this school, we are living very different lives from when we first walked into the WCS doors. Now, as we stand in this room, watching our middle school careers come to an end, I have to say, I think we are all grateful for our time in this community, so thank you to our teachers, principals, and all other Williston Central School staff. On your very first day of 3rd grade, you may have had a similar experience walking through the big school doors. For the first time, I felt like one of the big kids. In my neighborhood, my nickname had always been Little Libby, but now I was finally moving away from that name. As I walked to school with all of my neighbors, I felt like I was on top of the world. When I walk out of those same doors today, on my last day at Williston Central School, after 6 whole years, everything has changed. This grade has overcome so much together, but we have stayed a community through it all. We've had to deal with COVID, online school, and just middle school in general. From my personal experience, and I am sure many other people know what I'm referring to, I feel as though COVID has shaped me as a person and taught me how to deal with change. At first, it was the hardest thing in the world to be away from my friends, and I remember calling people on my mom's phone. I would wish so hard that the whole thing would be over and everything would go back to normal. To try and feel normal again, we would do drive-bys and hang out on the phone for hours. Many of us did online sleepovers and birthday parties. Eventually, it didn't seem as bad, and it became a way of life. Then, new variants came out, but with that came vaccines. Finally, 3 years later, we are living a new kind of normal. Looking back, I don't know if I would have stopped it if I could have, because I really think it has made me a more flexible and empathetic person, and given everybody a new view on the world. Even now, after COVID, we are still learning to deal with change and what that can look like. I've come to realize that change is rarely a bad thing. Rather, it is simply just an adjustment. Many of the people I know have changed a lot, and our friendships have too. But this has taught me what good friends truly are. I know countless people that have made many more friends. These people that we surround ourselves with are the people we look to in times of crisis, the people we have our best laughs with, and the people that we care about the most. They are our chosen family. Even when we lose a friend, they are still someone that we share memories with and someone that played a role in our lives. Throughout my middle school years, I have lost some friends as well as made new ones. I'm sure we have all drifted away from some people that we thought would always be part of our lives. Despite this, we've also regrown friendships that slowly flickered away. The people we've met and the memories we've made will be something we carry with us, even if we go different ways. If you look at the 4 years we've all spent during middle school and try to look past COVID, you start to realize how much these 4 years have shaped us as human beings. Before 5th grade, there was so much less responsibility and we were all being taken care of by the people around us. Now, as we move on to high school, a whole new world blossoms for us. Middle school and high school are a time of self-discovery, and especially in middle school, an era to learn how to take care of ourselves and be our own people. As responsibility has grown for each and every one of us, whether that is taking care of younger siblings, getting a job, doing your homework, or just learning to put deodorant on every day, we have become stronger, more accountable, and less stinky people. For me, this has looked like several things, but I have seen how open to change this school is, even when it doesn't seem like it. Behind the scenes, everybody who works in the school is working to make WCS a better place. Through the community I have built, I have been able to see the inner workings of the school and even take part in the change that happens here. For this open-mindedness, we should all thank every single person working in this building for their warm and welcoming hearts and for staying with us through even the toughest parts. Your support and care won't be forgotten by me, and hopefully not by my peers, and you have truly contributed to the people we are today. Thank you for listening. Congratulations to my fellow classmates. I hope you have an amazing few years in high school, and I hope to keep in touch with you. Have a great summer.
Good evening. Welcome families, teachers, and most importantly, Williston Central graduates. My name is Haley Henn, and today is a very special day for all of us, for all sorts of different reasons. Whether you're here to witness your child conclude another chapter in their life, here to see the immense progress your students you've taught have made, or just to confirm that you're finally leaving, whatever the reason leading you here today, I just want to say congratulations to all of you, but especially you, class of 2023. Our earliest memories of middle school were from a lens of fear and a Chromebook screen. But here we are, 3 whole years later, in person, with no mask, and not a pixel in sight, kind of. We've grown so much this year alone, and I can't comprehend that these faces I've grown to know personally and not so personally since 3rd grade are graduating and moving on to high school. This year was such an important time for me since I came a long way compared to the scared girl who was too afraid to enter her 7th grade classroom. This is where I grew the most and truly felt myself, and I know many of you can relate. I mean, if you would have told me I was speaking in front of this many people, I would have dropped dead. Although this is the end of our middle school journey, we have so much more growing to do. And these past years, we've built the foundations of who we truly are and who we yet to become. Well, the CERs, assessments, and I-Ready tests are finally gone, and this is now the start of new beginnings and countless more unopened doors to unlock. Today marks the day that it's finally over, until once again we plop into a much scarier, more difficult place. Well, that's not the point here. I want to take a moment to celebrate our achievements. Sitting here today represents all the hard work we put into being here. And to commemorate this amazing journey, let's celebrate by reflecting on all we've achieved together. When faced with issues presented in our community, some of you guys did not accept it and realized your voice mattered and that you had the power to make a difference. You took ownership of the change you wanted to see in the school and put your time and energy into making sure that the voice of the community was heard. From Up for Learning kids, Side by Side, and many, many more, to the kids who just participated in an activity we ran, you should be so proud of yourselves because you're leading so so many more to help make a difference in striving for a better future for the many students in the school and ourselves. We not only created change within our school, but in our lives also. The bonds and friendships we've shared here were invaluable, and we discovered parts of ourselves that we never knew were there. We pushed ourselves to support each other in ways that we never thought were possible. And we wouldn't have ever achieved this and more without the dedications of all of our teachers and adults in our lives. During remote times, our teachers went the extra mile by making different slideshows and giving up their time to at least so we could at least retain fractions for Unit 4. Our parents kept our morale up by giving us all sorts of fun different activities to distract us, like washing dishes, taking out the trash, and cleaning the bathroom. Love you guys. Even now, 2 to 3 years later, all of you guys still don't fail to disappoint. Students have teachers to teach them for the next test, but it takes a special one to leave a lasting effect. Those teachers are Miss Simpson, Miss Lynn, Jessica, Becky, Miss McEwen, along with many, many others. Even when I'm wrinkly and old, I will never forget what all of you done for me, and so many others. You don't understand how much... I'm sorry. You don't understand how much you built me as a person. You don't... Oh, God. You guys mean so much to me, and I don't want to leave you behind. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You guys and every teacher here are the ones who helped show us what we're capable of, and I can never thank you guys enough. Thank you. To end things off, I want to acknowledge that everything that led us up to this moment has taken a toll on almost everybody here. On that note, those who have struggled in any way now, this year or years prior, whether from stress, bullying, identity struggles, or just the thought of making it here today, just anything, I want you to know just how incredibly proud I am of you, how everybody here is so proud of you, and that you are not alone in this. I know how hard it could be, from minor frustrations and feelings to the bigger challenges and situations you may find yourself stuck in. But life is hard, and it'll always get harder. But you are more stronger and more capable than you'll ever realize. And I hope nothing but the best once you're in high school and further. And I hope you continue to flourish and work towards your dreams. And to end this off, finally, a quote from our favorite former news reporter, Carla Zeus. Fridays are awesome, but not as awesome as you.
Hello and welcome to this year's 8th grade graduation.
I'm Sophia Jacobs.
And I'm Ethan Sandmore, and we're both students on Harbor House. We have the honor to dedicate this year's yearbook to a very special teacher. And this teacher was overwhelmingly voted on by this year's graduating class. Would Ms. Quah please join us at the podium now? Squat has been an educator for over 30 years. 28 of those have been here at Williston Central School. As students in her core classroom, we have experienced firsthand her enthusiasm for teaching and her energetic personality. She has had a profound impact on us as well as our entire school and community.
Miss Q has a passion for science that is bottom line unbeatable. Her teaching style is engaging and inspiring for anyone who's had the pleasure of being in her class. The connections that she has built with every student she has crossed paths with is incredible. The connections that Miss Q has built with us personally has helped us so much throughout our time in Harper. So holy smackers, even though this year has come to an end, we wish you the best of luck in whatever the next chapter of your life has in store for you. Thank you for helping us lead us through the best 8th grade year anyone could have ever asked for. It is my pleasure to present this yearbook to Ms. Quad. Thank you.
You'll see a theme here. The purpose in life is a life of purpose. My hope for you is that you find your purpose, your passion, your path. Stay true to yourself, be curious, work hard, have fun, but be safe. Remember your please and thank yous. Stay humble, let your parents and guardians know that you love them. But most importantly, be kind. This world needs a lot of kindness. You've got this. Thank you. I really don't want to hold the microphone, so we're going to try to do this without it. All right. Good evening, everyone. I am Kim McMahon, Family and Consumer Science teacher. It is my pleasure to present the Gordon Jones Memorial Award on behalf of the team of teachers at WCS who lead our EA program. A great group of teachers specializing in art, music, physical education, design tech, and family and consumer science. Gordon Jones was a beloved tech ed teacher at Williston Central School. He loved technology, especially photography, and always worked to incorporate technology into the lives of his students. In memory of his early passing and through his family's generosity, we are able to not only present a certificate, but also a special gift with this award. This year, that gift is a new touchscreen Chromebook. Many students thrive in essential arts. They model great energy and sportsmanship during PE, incredible creativity and perseverance during art, a passion for exploring cooking, sewing, and careers during family and consumer science, energy and collaboration during music, and inquisitive critical thinking and problem solving in design tech. What is unique about the Gordon Jones Award is that it is our opportunity to recognize that rare student who can excel in every element in our vastly different classrooms. We also look for a student that is friendly and helpful to all other students in the class and who clearly, genuinely enjoys the work they are doing in all of our essential arts classes. This year's awardee exemplifies all of this and more. They enter every space with a smile and are always ready to learn. One teacher shared that this student smiles through the learning. They are talented, respectful, and always willing to lend a helping hand. This individual brings a positive attitude, willingness to try new learning, perseverance, and a desire to do their best in all situations. They also say thank you at the end of every class, an action that hasn't gone unnoticed. In design tech, they quickly picked up skills in woodworking and were equally adept at mastering the basic concepts of robotics coding. In our class, they worked
through a very specific project. When a clear solution wasn't present, they were open to trying new mediums and ideas until they could get their vision across. When we were creating the EA rotations this year, we worked super hard to make sure that this student had athletes that could keep up with their amazing talent. In fact, this year, which was focused specifically on health, this student always worked to keep the class on track, even amid all of the chaos, and there was a lot of that. During their research project in health class, the student had worked extra hard, handwriting note cards to go with their presentation, and truly blew me out of the water. Everything they do is top of the line. They are intrinsically motivated to excel at every task. And that is really what sets this student apart. Whether the student is doing lacrosse, gymnastics, or playing the flute, they bring their best to everything that they do. I can hear the whispers behind me. Their effort, production, and kindness have been consistent in all essential arts areas for all 4 years of middle school at WCS. Even though they forgot to add sugar in the pies this week, I am beyond thrilled to present this year's Gordon Jones Award to Stella Susie.
Teacher on Harbor House. I'm here tonight representing the Literacy Committee. Again this year, we have a very special award. A very special award is being given to a member of the graduating class from WCS. This award is in honor of Margaret Munn, who was one of our gifted and dedicated teachers. Miss Munn is remembered for her love of teaching and her love of books. The Margaret Munn Literacy Award is awarded to an 8th grade student who share their love of stories and literature with peers, use literature as a model for testing their own creative writing skills, and who are kind, empathetic, and supportive to their peers. The 8th grader receiving this award tonight meets all of this criteria and then some. If you were to peek into a Harbor classroom, there's a really good chance you'd see the student reading, even during events like indoor recess. She's an avid reader, and she thinks deeply about what she's read and the author's message behind it. Since this student always has a book in her hands, she finishes close to 1 per week. She's quiet in class, but takes in a great deal of information. She's supportive and patient with her peers, especially in group work, going out of her way to help others, a quality Margaret valued. She's also been active in the intergenerational reading program for a number of years, sharing her love of reading with the greater community. Although we'll miss her great attitude and frequent contributions, we know she's ready for high school, and we can't wait to hear about the challenges she'll be conquering there. Harbor is proud to present the Margaret Munn Literacy Award to Tegan Scruggs. Just a minute, in a rare occurrence, it is a rare occurrence, but this year we actually have a second recipient of the Margaret Munn Literacy Award. Our second recipient is equally deserving. The standards she sets for herself are high. As a writer, she's always challenging herself by using new techniques we've discussed in class, or that she sees other writers using, always looking to perfect her craft. When she gets a new writing assignment, she works like a surgeon, showing precision and fine attention to detail. She's thoughtful, and her tenacity to strive for more is incredible to watch. She brings a level of sophistication to her writing that's rare to see in middle school. If you ever find yourself opposite her in grade, make sure you're well prepared. She works meticulously to go above and beyond the objective of her writing assignments. In addition to her incredible writing skills, this past summer, she was accepted into and attended the Junior National Young Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. For 6 days, she had the opportunity to experience the power of democracy among the monuments in D.C., be inspired by exemplary stories of courage, and to collaborate to discover solutions to issues students face today. The recipient of this award shares a striking resemblance to our first recipient because they are twin sisters. Our second recipient is Riley's brother.
Bonsoir, good evening. My name is Madame Michelle Chouanière, and I teach French here at Williston.
And my name is Ginny Mivo, and I teach Spanish here. We are here to present this year's World Language Awards. The World Language Awards are given to students who are outstanding in all of the following areas. They are engaged, enthusiastic language learners. They have an exceptional work ethic. They lead by example. They go above and beyond.
They excel academically. They show an inquisitiveness and dedication to language learning. They consistently make positive contributions to the classroom community.
There are so many positive things I could say about this year's Spanish recipient. Some words that come to mind are hardworking, engaged, positive, inclusive, curious, competitive, kind, role model. This student always comes to class with a positive attitude, ready to learn. He works well with all class members. If there is an opportunity to extend his Spanish, he steps up to take it. He consistently challenges himself to create conversation during our speaking activities. Perhaps, most importantly, this student embodies the spirit of a global citizen. He is open-minded and eager to learn, curious about language and culture, all while being a role model for others. Congratulations to this year's recipient, Connor Dubois.
When choosing a student for the World Language Award for French, this student stands out as a leader in the French classroom. She has demonstrated a love of learning French since the 5th grade. She is always enthusiastic about learning French and is inquisitive about the French language. This student is inclusive and conscientious in the French classroom and is always ready to help fellow classmates. When presented with a challenge, she consistently demonstrates a positive attitude, persistence, and motivation to achieve at the highest level, even when things seem difficult. Because of all of these amazing qualities, the student is a true role model for all French students and language learners. It is with great pleasure that I present the World Language Award for French to Dasha Gina.
I'm Deb Taylor. I'm a humanities teacher upstairs on Harbor House. Every year we honor an 8th grade student who has gone above and beyond in their interest in history. And that award is the Captain Almayer Spirit of History Award. It is awarded to a student who has demonstrated the following qualities necessary to win this award. They display a strong interest in the subject matter of history having to do with our nation's history. They display a clear passion for historical subject matter. They share a love of history, and they develop high-quality history-related projects. This award really celebrates a student who is passionate about history And I know there are many students behind me in the 8th grade who are strong students, and they love history, and they love the humanities. There was one student who stood out to us, not only for his love of history, but because of the tremendous growth in academics, particularly in the area of writing that we had seen over the past 2 years. When this student first began in my classes, quite often his answers might have 1 or 2 words for answer. And over the course of 2 years, those 1 to 2 word answers have turned into multiple paragraphs of exceptional quality. And as teachers, nothing makes us happier or more proud than to see our students evolve with their skills. I want to recognize that this student is like a sponge. He absorbs information. He thinks deeply about the patterns, trends, implications, and ramifications of historical events. I'm delighted to present this award to this student because I think it's important that his peers and this community take a moment to recognize all of his efforts in pushing himself to become an exemplary historian. I also know Al Myers will be so proud of him. Please join me in congratulating Luke Everett.
Good evening. The scientist is not a person who gives the right answers. It's the person who asks the right questions. The individual who is receiving the Williston Science Award tonight does just that. This individual asks questions to find meaning to our science concepts, not just for the grade, but to make sense and build connections with the world around us. This student has the confidence to admit that they don't understand, and this helps bring the whole class to a better understanding. This student keeps a beautifully meticulous and dedicated science journal. It's beautiful. That is consistently used as a resource. She cares and shows immense perseverance and is an incredibly, incredibly hard worker. This year's Williston Science Award recipient goes to Caitlin Whittier.
Now, if you're following along in your program, you'll notice a math award is coming up, and I am not a math teacher. Unfortunately, our colleague Chris Milks is under the weather tonight, so I'm here sharing her words on her behalf. So the WCS Mathematical Mindset Award is given to an 8th grade mathematician who has demonstrated both passion for and proficiency in this area. The recipient of this award has consistently modeled a growth mindset, collaboration, and creativity in mathematics. They have emphasized justification, connections, and multiple pathways while displaying high-quality mathematical thinking and communication throughout middle school. Here are Chris's words. I'm so happy to be celebrating the work of one of our wonderful mathematicians with you this evening. This mathematician is a perfect example of the qualities this award celebrates. Without fail, he has thrown himself wholeheartedly into every available opportunity to deepen his understanding of mathematics. Whether doing an optional enrichment assignment, designing and running a lesson for younger students, lending his curiosity and problem-solving abilities to working through a complex mathematical scenario with peers, or motivating others to persevere through a challenging task, this student consistently goes above and beyond to further his own understanding while also raising up those around him. One other way in which this student is exceptional is that he qualified to represent the state of Vermont in the National Math Counts competition in Florida this spring, going up against the most talented mathematicians in the country. This student had the opportunity to study high school level math with a small group of peers this year. His maturity, independence, and passion for wrestling with mathematical ideas shine throughout this experience. He never hesitates to take on a challenge and does an excellent job in asking questions and seeking more information when he has a question. True to having a real mathematical mindset, this student's tenacity in pursuing mathematical understanding shows that he knows that eventually, with enough work and a wide variety of approaches, he will be able to figure out any problem. Despite his outstanding abilities, this student is humble, kind, patient, and eager to work through math with anyone, regardless of their level of understanding. Further, his thoughtful manner, respectful way of communicating and advocating for his needs, and his exceptional ability to independently manage all of his responsibilities make him a joy to work with. It is my pleasure to present Connor Dubois.
My name is Chris Rose, and I'm a teacher from Summit House. I have the privilege of introducing you all to this year's winner of the second annual Be the Change Award. The Be the Change Award recognizes a student who has committed themselves to activism through their research, their passions, their interactions with peers, and their involvement in student leadership groups. This student encourages others to speak out for justice. I've known this year's recipient for the last 4 years, and I'm so pleased to be standing here to present this award to them. The recipient advocates for others daily, whether it's supporting friends having a hard time or pulling adults aside to make sure we know something unkind that's happening. She's trying to support others and support her teachers. She's committed to making change. She made significant contributions as members of Up for Learning program as well as Side by Side. These organizations are both working to make Williston Central School a more inclusive and equitable space. Her ideas and her passion were on display when she played a leadership role, kicking off the Up for Learning Changemakers Assemblies. She entered a writing contest where she passionately advocated for all books to be available to students. She's working to develop a world where everyone can see themselves in a book and as valued members of our community. This year's recipient is sought out by her peers when they see instances of racism or other forms of harassment. The student has talked with me and other teachers about her unique experiences and challenges of her dual life, both as a young Black woman and as a daughter of African immigrants. Growing up and learning in that dual role, combined with all the regular middle school challenges, has helped her gain many unique perspectives and appreciation for kindness and justice. During the time I've known her, she's spent more than her fair share of time supporting friends who are struggling. She's asked to help because her peers know that when racist, sexist, or other mean comments are made, that she is someone with patience, strength, and perspective that's trusted to listen, to help explain, and to make a plan to move forward. She's engaging, she's funny, she's smart, and she's a force to be reckoned with. We will miss her in so many ways next year, but know she's ready to move on and keep making positive changes wherever she goes. I'm so very honored to announce that Malachi Tanoki is we're moving on now to the Spirit of Williston Awards, and there are a number of these awards, and I'm just here because I'm next. So I'll be presenting one of the winners of the Spirit of Williston Awards from Summit House. Spirit of Williston Award winners demonstrate community involvement, a high degree of support for others, and house and school spirit. This year's recipient is super deserving of the award in many ways. This person is caring and involved with so many different peers. The person has friends from many different groups and is well respected by all. This person is always doing the right thing, even when his peers are not, which is a demonstration of his strong character. This person's priorities are to work hard, to have fun, and to do the right thing. This person is super accepting of everyone's differences. He works well with anyone in class, always making sure that everyone's contributions are visible and not drawing any extra attention to himself. He's a keen observer and has an awareness about others that shows maturity and inclusion. He's a quiet leader. Quiet leaders are highly respected in Summit classrooms, as well as in my advisory and in my core. In addition to this being his last day at Williston Central School, the day of his graduation from middle school, and the first day of summer vacation, today is also this award recipient's birthday. All this makes for a very exciting start to his summer vacation and transition to high school. I doubt he's expecting to hear his name announced with any awards tonight, but that's part of the way he is. Very unassuming, very humble, very hardworking, yet a ton of fun to be around, and beloved by almost all. Students like that sometimes get overlooked, so it is a true pleasure to introduce you to this year's first Spirit of Williston Award winner from Summit House, Mr. Kevin Bowe.
Good evening. I'm Bree Healy, and I'm a teacher on Summit House. I'm proud to be here tonight to celebrate this group of graduates, but especially to honor this recipient of the Spirit of Williston Award. This student routinely provides a safe, caring, and supportive environment for their peers in both academic and social environments. We know middle school is not always the most comfortable place, but students like this make everyone feel included. Her smile and kind nature demonstrate empathy and acceptance, two things you can't have enough of when building a strong community. She is a role model in how she displays a strong work ethic, self-advocacy skills, and determination. On top of all this, she is always respectful. Always one of the first students to say hello when she arrives, and always waving when she's on her way back in from recess. This award recipient also showed her school spirit as a team member of both our field hockey and Iron Chef teams. Her 8th grade yearbook quote says it all. She said, to quote Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. While this student is humble, I think she also knows that she has a responsibility to share her talents with the world. To be a person who respects the unique qualities of others, to be a person who can swing in and support others, to be a person who can continually push herself to be the best she can be and uplift others to do the same. The recipient of this award doesn't need a Spider-Man costume to hide her greatness. It is my honor to present the 2023 Spirit of Williston Award to Emma Hamble.
Tonight to present the Al Meyer Spirit of Williston Award. Roy Bennett, the author of The Light and the Heart, said, "If you have a strong purpose in life, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion will drive you there." It is comment-worthy in the midst of middle school to find a young adult with a strong sense of purpose. A person who goes all in for community involvement through intergenerational reading, being an active member in Stand Up for Learning, side by side, taking care of the WCS Community Garden, and on top of all of that, taking a challenging academic course. She has been a leader in fairness and equity for all. It's my pleasure to present the Al Myers Spirit of Williston Award for Harbor to Olivia Seary.
I know, you're tired of me, I'm sorry. This is my last one. Our second award is being given to another incredibly deserving student. One of the criteria for this award is house or team spirit. You'd be hard-pressed to find another student who brings this level of joy to those around him. He can also be quite the prankster, which only adds to the charm. Most days, he comes in with a smile on his face, high energy, ready to go. We know we're in for a fun day then. On the rare occurrence that he comes in quiet or tired, I've made the mistake of thinking that might be a slow day, only to find out that by the time language arts has rolled around, he's heating up and bringing the energy. That's when we all know to keep our heads on a swivel. Whether he's tapping you on the opposite shoulder to get you to turn the other way, taking his sweet time getting to class, or playing tag at high speed across the classroom, we all can't help but smile more when he's around. We've also learned to play better defense when eating our snack, and to be wary when he has a full water bottle, because we've seen more spills than some major oil companies experience. And although everyone knows him as a happy, outgoing person, what his peers may not always see is how hard he works. He is a curious learner who stops to ask questions and think deeply about different topics that come up in class. When things don't come easy, he works harder to learn and understand. He's also an incredible artist who is humble about his talent. He has a great group of friends around him, but one thing I don't think he always realizes is how good a friend he is to others. His laugh and lighthearted approach can make the difference in changing the mood in the room for the better. He's taught me to loosen up a little, laugh more, and enjoy the moment, and for that I'm grateful. His smile is infectious, and I hope he understands just how much his positive attitude has made Harbor a better place for all of us. My room may be a little cleaner next year in his absence, but we won't be able to replace the joy he brings to all of us. Harbor is thrilled to present Emmanuel Zion.
Tonight, I stand before you to present a very special Swift 8th grader with the Alan S. Myers Spirit Award. As mentioned before me, the Spirit Award is given to an 8th grader who models inclusion, school spirit, and community involvement. This year's Swift 8th grader possesses all of these characteristics, and to augment these, possesses a very strong sense of curiosity. My name is Deb Donnelly, and I work in Swift House. Let's start with community involvement. This Swift student has signed up for so many opportunities and given so many healthy risks a try. They have planned, structured, and taught literature groups to their peers. They've worked as a stage manager in the Swift Theater Festival. They've given presentations to 3rd and 4th graders about the power of overcoming hardships. They've been a mentor to younger students in Swift House, and they have engaged in causes important to them in community outreach. You name it, they've been interested in trying it or in doing it. What a gift to our community. This student is a complete natural when it comes to school spirit. They are a team player, whether in an academic setting, working on group projects, or on the baseball diamond. Their level leadership and humble persona help to create a culture of working together for the greater good. This sense of spirit can be extended to the example they set in working hard and setting personal goals. One year, this student had a learning goal of improving their penmanship. So, this student decided that instead of typing the first, second, and third draft of his report on World War II, he would handwrite it. This meant that after each draft, the student revised and edited their paper by hand according to the feedback they were given and rewrote the entire paper again and again. Needless to say, they made incredible progress on their goal. And more importantly, their tenacity in working towards their goal was an amazing example for their peers to take in. Lastly, let's talk about inclusion. Let's couple this with this student's sense of curiosity. In a world that often seems divided, this student has shown us the power of unity and acceptance. This student suffered an injury that prohibited them from participating in sports, something they love to do. Some kiddos may have become discouraged or focused on a poor me attitude. Nope, not this young man. He turned his own personal lemons into lemonade and decided to focus on adaptive sports for his 8th grade challenge. It was his sense of curiosity, coupled with this high level of empathy, that led him to ponder, how do people with disabilities take part in the activities they love, and how can I teach this to others? He paired these two wonderings, producing an amazing written report, and conducted several presentations to 3rd and 4th graders, teaching them all about the heroes around us who have overcome tremendous adversity. How inspiring. I could go on for many more minutes about this very deserving student. However, I would like to acknowledge this awesome 8th grader, Zephyr. Certainly holds an excess of dividends coming your way. Please join me in congratulating Zephyr Haynes, Swift's 8th grade Spirit Award for the class of 2020.
Hello, I'm Julie Rogers, the senior teacher here at Williston Central School, and it's my pleasure to present the graduate certificates. Zoe Aguilon. Ariana. Sebastian Becker. Pradesh Makula. Samantha Rochelle. Emily Brewer. Megan Burnett. Emerson Campbell. Olivia Siri. Reed Clara. Graydon Conforti. Jacob Kusin.
Keegan Michael. Nathania Giussessi. Travis Block. Kieran Riddell. Reese Hawkins. Max Healy. Haley M. Pepper Ingersoll. Sophia Jacobs. Alexa Jarvis. Haley Jewett. Alex Ravel. Cameron Jeffrey. Jackson Kelly. Evelyn Kimball. Anthony Lamb. McKenna Massage. Aya Lewis. Willow Martin. John Levy. Danica Manning. Owen McEwen. Francois Millard. Brady Meinhardt. Tyler Montgomery. Chris Warren. Addison Curry. David Leslie. Myron Liu. Adrian Holiday. Asher Keaton. Wyatt Purya. Eleanor Porter. Tatiana Putnam.
great joy that I present to you the Williston Central School Class of 2023.